I and many others should bow down to this athlete. Wow. He kept on saying that his non-competitiveness in last 2-3 years doesn't mean anything. He has done that before as well, taken a 5, 6, 7 year break and beaten Travis Bagent. He's going to do it once again. He kept on saying, and we kept on doubting him that no, Jerry, you cannot do that. Jerry just went to East versus West. He trained his ass off. Keep telling everyone that do not doubt me. I'm going to prove everyone wrong. And he did exactly that by beating the guy who defeated Dave Chaffee and Monster Michael Todd, two of the top North American athletes. And Jerry just went there and he beat the referee, he beat Genadi, he beat everyone. The referees were great, but I don't know what they were doing in this match. Earlier in the first round, they were not squaring Jerry's shoulder. Jerry started with a very carved in shoulder, but fortunately for Genadi, he was still able to beat Jerry in that match. He was able to gain hand control and just go sideways, and it looked like that Genadi's arm, Genadi's hand is way too much for Jerry, and probably this is going to end up in a mismatch and Genadi is going to win 3-0. In the next round, Jerry put the brakes on Genadi with his flop press, first without the straps and then inside the straps. Genadi was having a really difficult time even in slipping from Jerry. Jerry was in this position and he was stretched out, but his arm was not going anywhere. We thought that Genadi had the versatility. We thought that Genadi had the experience because he competed in many WAF matches. And Genadi was offering Dave 100% match fees. He was that much confident, but all of that versatility, all of that confidence, it did not help Genadi at all. In the second round, Genadi's elbow was way off the back of the pad, at least a couple of inches off the back of the pad, and the referees were not seeing anything. I don't know what was up with them, but man, Jerry was literally saying, shit, look at his elbow, and the referees were like, no, we've closed our eyes. And Jerry was also many times intentionally pushing Genadi off the back of the pad, and Genadi was also complaining, and the refs didn't call that one as well. They should have clearly called the fouls on Jerry in first round and in the beginning of second round as well, and definitely on Genadi after that. Genadi, when he saw that he cannot run out anywhere, he first tried to sneak in an elbow foul by sliding his elbow off the back of the pad and putting it on the table to gain those extra 1 or 2 inches to probably get behind his shoulder, and he still got pressed in the third round. He still got pressed by Jerry. This is how much power Jerry was bringing to the table. So in the second round, Jerry kind of laid off the pressure for a second, and Genadi capitalized on it, and he just pushed Jerry to the side and won that round, but his elbow fouls were not getting called. In the next round, Jerry came with a fast shoulder press and flash pinned Genadi. After that, again, same thing continued. Elbow fouls on Genadi not being called. Jerry was arm wrestling Genadi and also the referees. He was talking with the referees. Shit, are you even watching his elbows? What is happening? And the entire chat was going crazy. I was like, man, that is one of the most horrible jobs at reffing that I have seen. And instead, they called a coincidental elbow foul that Jerry also fouled. Yes, Jerry may have fouled. And in that round also, I think Jerry was pushing, and that was also not called. Then Genadi's elbow was off the back of the pad. He planted it there, at least 1 or 2 inches behind, 1 inch behind the tape, behind the pad, and still Jerry pinned him. That was one of the most amazing things, because Genadi tried everything, man. He tried elbow fouling, then he saw that he still couldn't get away from Jerry's press. Then he tried to take his elbow more back of the pad, and Jerry still pinned him, but the referees did not call the foul. They did call the foul, but coincidental foul. Man, what was that? Jerry pinned Genadi, and till that moment they did not call the foul on anyone, but after that, after Jerry pinned him, then they called foul on both of them. So man, it looked like the referees were kind of ganging up against Jerry. All of the other matches, the reffing was absolutely perfect, but maybe just the referees got kind of confused, because maybe it was a really chaotic match, guys. I'm just telling you what happened in which round. I may be mixing up those rounds. This is the only match that I do not remember what exactly happened. I remember all the details that happened, but not to the detail in which round they happened. So I may be mixing up things. but the referees looked more confused than me. For sure, man. Worse, horrible calls. You can literally see Jerry was pointing, just look at his elbow. It was that much off the back of the pad, and it was not like it went back and Genadi popped it back up again. No, it stayed there for 5-10 seconds, and Jerry kept on pointing, look at the elbow. But no, referees didn't say anything until the point Jerry pinned Genadi. And then in the 5th round, lots of chaos. I think fouls on both of them. And then finally, Jerry was able to press. And such a gentleman that he is, he never even mentioned the reffing, not even once. He was looking like a warrior. Man, Jerry just comes back and beats the number 3 guy in the world and just messes up the rankings. And there are many guys that Jerry can beat now. Dave Chaffee versus Jerry Cadorrette. What happens in that match? Dave has always beaten Jerry, always, but we have seen that Dave has now lost his hook power. He used to grab Jerry low and just drag him sideways with his dragging hook. That weapon is not available with Dave anymore. I think Jerry now crushes Dave Chaffee because he cannot hook him, and top roll, there's absolutely no chance. Dave's endurance is also getting worse and worse every time we see him. Jerry was huffing and puffing. He was putting his hands on his knees and trying to breathe. But man, that man's arm never gets tired. Genadi's arm was fading, but not Jerry, man. Tremendous endurance. Michael Todd, no disrespect, but I think 7x7 pads advantage for Gary, or should I say no advantage for Michael. I think Jerry beats Michael. This version of Devon, when he's getting lighter, that can be a really good match. That 290-pound Devon would beat Jerry in my opinion. But when Devon is lighter in this condition, but why would he be lighter? I think Devon may still beat Jerry. But let's see. I'm not thinking that Devon's inside power, his hook game improved, and for Devon to beat Jerry with the top roll is really difficult. He was able to do that in 1 round, but it is going to be really difficult. But man, what a performance by Jerry. There were people saying that they have never seen Jerry more focused, more prepared for a match in his 30+ years career. Can you imagine that? Most focused for this match. He had to prove a point, and shout out to Paul Italia, man. That was like a young brother. The way he was jumping joyfully and immediately went on the stage and just hugged Jerry Cadorrette after his win. Amazing, man. Salute to that friendship. I absolutely adore it. Thank you very much, Jerry. Again, I bow down to you. I salute to you. You're the man. You are the man. Artem Morozov the man. Coach Ray is the man. Those three guys definitely deserve a salute. And Irakli Zarakashvili, another match, just destroyed Krasimir Kostadinov. Just destroyed him. Top rolled him in the last round and high hooked and side pressured through him. He definitely worked on his side pressure. Great victory. What are the matches? Yusuf lost to Sarabai. Yerdalot Sarabai. He defeated Yusuf. I hope I remember the name correctly. Sarabai is correct at least. So he defeated Yusuf. That was amazing performance as well. And what other match? Man, the entire card was amazing. Gabriela Vasconcelos, man, how can I forget that? Gabby, she was crying after she defeated Egle. Finally, I think she can claim the GOAT title. She had never defeated Egle. Defeated her both arms. Destroyed on the right arm. 3-1, also destroyed on the left arm as well. Amazing matches. Thank you, Engin Terzi. You can still probably buy the pay-per-view if you want $15. Link is in the description. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and I'll see you again.